Hey YouTube world, it's Mara and welcome back to my channel that serves literally no purpose besides bringing me joy and you guys some mediocre entertainment. So today we're literally just going to talk a little bit about everything, just my feelings, and things going on in the world and just what's been stressing me out and a little bit update of like my life, my jobs, school, all of it, honestly. We didn't talk about my love life because it's non-existent, so don't even need to go there. Anyway, if you want to hear about all of that, then just keep watching. I have my mirror here, so we're just gonna jump right in. So, I'm gonna start with my brows, and I somehow managed to get my hands on the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze wax. I don't even know how to use this. I haven't looked at any videos or anything, so we're gonna try this. And also I have very stubborn brow hairs, like literally from like here to like here where my arch is, they grow up, and then from my arch to the tail end of my brow, my eyebrow hairs just grow straight downward. So we'll see how this works. Thing going on with the virus, it's created a lot of like racism basically towards Asians and the Asian community, and the beginning last year it also started with a bunch of Asian hate crimes, and now literally we're a year into it and we still have a bunch of Asian hate crimes going on. And I just think it's really freaking gross because obviously it's not their fault. It's just such ignorant people, and it's also people that I think want to just find someone to blame as to why everything's going on, and that's also really gross. So I'm obviously going to be providing links down in my description box below because that's where I always keep a bunch of links to a bunch of other things that I think people should look at or should be a little more talked about. This is like the first thing that's ever actually worked for my stubborn brow hairs. That's wild. So I'm just gonna leave it like this until so that hopefully it sets that way, and then I can maybe comb down the tail end hairs. Moving on from that, things I want to talk about from my personal life is, so in my last video I literally said I got a new job, so that's why I hadn't posted anything in a really long time. And then of course, just with everything going on, they're closing down their business. It was a really small business in the first place. Well, they're not fully closing down, but they're drastically reducing the hours that they're operating. So instead of being open Monday through Sunday, they're now open just the weekend. And honestly, I just need, like, if I'm gonna get I need more hours, and if I'm gonna get another job, it's probably going to be like somewhere retail wise, so I can't be like, hey, I can't work weekends, because weekends are the time frame in which retail sees the most foot traffic. So obviously I can't ask to have weekends off to stay there, so I just needed to keep my options open. So unfortunately I had to tell her I couldn't accept, and now I have to find something else. So that's great. I am back to being like, I have another job, but that job is giving me like, literally this week I have 2.75 hours for that job, so obviously can't survive off of that. So I was just like, yeah, back to square one where I was literally like a month ago. Like, I literally need to get a job like in the matter of probably within like 2 weeks. And that's just really fucking stressful. And obviously I'm gonna freaking like recession, who the hell is really going to be hiring right now, especially with things just opening and closing, like, it just freaking sucks. And literally, trust me, I already tried to like do an unemployment claim, but I put it in like the probably the third week of January, because that's when my hours started to drastically reduce from my first job. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll just open a claim or something. Yeah, they have still yet to get back to me. And honestly, this week is the first week that I actually have time to possibly like call them and be like, hey, so what the fuck's going on? And then because I had gotten the other job, I was like, well, I don't really need it, so it's fine if it doesn't get opened or whatever. So it wasn't like the end of the world if they didn't respond to me, but now that I kind of really need either to find a job or get some assistance, I'm like, I'll probably end up calling them tomorrow or sometime soon, and I'm like, I'll probably end up calling them tomorrow, spending hours on the phone, waiting to see what's going on. So that, or spend hours doing applications, because girl needs another job. And I genuinely don't even know where to apply, but also I'm just like, well, this is probably like some sort of blessing in disguise, because I literally have 2 weeks until I graduate, so I'm like, I could just use these 2 weeks to try and find another job, and then also to just focus on graduating. But also, like, everything just feels so stressful right now, and I don't know why. I mean, I know why. I'm just trying not to, like, I look crazy. I'm just trying not to force anything to happen. Like, if it's just meant for me to find another job, then I'll just apply and obviously get another job. And then I just won't even contact unemployment, because at that point it won't even matter. But also, like, if it's not meant for me to get another job and just roll off of unemployment for a minute, then that's what's meant to be. And also just feel like everything in my life is just so uncertain at the moment, because honestly everything is uncertain in my life. For instance, I'm literally about to graduate, so then I'm like, well, there goes the basically life as I knew it for the past 4 years. It's like just been really worrying about school and graduating, and now that you've accomplished that goal, I'm like, well shit, what now? Also, I'm like, I need to find another job, so that's uncertainty. I'm realistic. Like, the odds of me getting hired in a professional full-time setting straight out of college are not high, because I wasn't very involved in college. Also, we're in a freaking recession, so, like, come on. Everyone, even people who are well qualified, are getting fired at the moment, so that makes the pool of applicants way more competitive. And honestly, I can't even really think of a job that I would want straight out of, like, college. I can't. That's why I feel like I struggled so much through college in general, because I was just like, I don't even really know what I want to do career-wise. So why am I, what is the point of school if I'm not sure what I want to do? And honestly, I was just doing school to do something, and because my mom was forcing me. Otherwise, and because majority of it is paid for through my financial aid. Otherwise, no way in hell would I have been continuing to go to school because I'd be like, this is costing me so much money, I don't even know what to do or what I want to do, so I need to drop out now. It's like now that I'm done, in a sense, I feel like I can do what I want to do, but also I'm like, what is that? I don't know what that is, what I want to do. I'm like, because the whole time, again, I was just really going to school because my mom wanted me to go to school. I didn't really, I was gonna use my other powder for this. Oh well. But now I'm like, well, now I technically have free will to do as I please. But what is that? I mean, ideally, like, if everything worked out in my favor and dreams become a reality, I would probably want to do this and just be a content creator, but and then I would still see myself like going to school for things I want to learn about, which would probably be like diet, nutrition, exercise, physical therapy, like stuff like that. But it would take the pressure off of getting into school and having to finish within a certain timeline and having to get a job immediately after you graduate, you know? I don't really like to have every step of my life figured out, but also I kind of do. Like, no, I guess not every step, but I kind of like to have a general direction where I'm going to, because I'm like, otherwise I feel like I'm so lost. I know, I'm well aware this is completely normal, that regardless of how many people like to pretend on social media that they have everything figured out, that this is relatively normal, and that most 20-year-olds or 20, I'm 22, but most 22-year-olds don't have their shit figured out, and they don't know what they want to do with the rest of their life, or just most people in general, like, they don't always have it all figured out and being like, yeah, I know exactly next step in my life. If you do, that's great, amazing, but I don't, and it's just stressful because then I feel like I'm wasting time, and which I know is also just another non-realistic thing, like, you're not wasting time, like, but it makes me feel like I'm wasting time because I'm not moving in any direction because I don't know which direction to go to. I feel like I get so stagnant, and that's what just scares me. I think that's what scares me, that I'm wasting time. That I'm like, okay, I don't know which direction to go to or move. I don't know which direction to move towards, so I'm not moving, so then I'm not making any progress in my life whatsoever. Even though I am like a firm believer that you're exactly where you're meant to be. Like, everything you go through, I know how cliche that sounds, but like everything you go through is for a reason and is for a purpose. But I don't know, it's just, you know, I feel like a lot of people just tend to get into the moods where they're like, I literally begin overthinking every single fucking thing in their life, and that's me at the moment because I know there's so many changes coming up ahead, and I wouldn't say I'm the person that is scared of change, but I'm also not the person that like welcomes it either, and I'm like, yeah, I'm so ready for change. Like, no, I'm just like, well, if we have to, let's change kind of person. And that's why I feel like I can be a little standoffish when I can feel change coming around, because I'm like, oh my god, there's so many things that are about to change in my life. Also, I like took some cute Instagram pictures, but I am like, I don't even know if I want to post them. I feel like I am just the type of person, I don't think this is necessarily a good thing, but I just tend to talk myself out of doing so many things. feel like I'm uber rational and irrational to some point where I will either use one or the other to talk myself out of doing something because I'm scared. When I know, and I've heard a few people say this within like the past 2 weeks probably, that you should be running towards your fears instead of away from them, because that's probably, for one, where you will experience the most growth, and two, where you probably will find what you want. And I'm like, I know, but I don't know why I just tend to be so the opposite, where I just talk myself out of it because I'm like, no, it's not gonna work out, or like, why would this ever work out for you? Like, no. Which is something I also need to work on. I just feel like I had to talk to you guys about these things before I just like moved on to like making other content, because I just feel like these are kind of large updates. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys liked the video. Peace and blessings, and I'll see you guys in the next one.